Joining me now is Texas Congresswoman Beth Van Duyne, a member of the House Ways and Means and Small Business Committees. Congresswoman, good to see you. Thanks very much for being here this morning. I know these protests have spread to your alma mater as well, of Cornell. What is your reaction?
Well, I mean, in addition to what Alan Dershowitz was saying, you also have to look at where the funding is coming from anti-democratic countries. Foreign countries give tens of billions of dollars to these universities. 55% are from anti-democratic countries like Qatar. These countries have actually increased their funding by almost 50% in the last 4 years since 2020. What are they reading in these universities? It's anti-democratic, it's anti-Semitism, it's anti-capitalism, everything that we are against in America, and yet we are funding them. They have access to monies that we're helping with grant dollars and with low interest loans to students, but we're also giving them tax-free exempt status. So when we think about everything that's happening on these campuses, how terrible it is, how anti-American it is, we are looking at the Ways and Means Committee of ways of being able to use those tax-exempt status and the dollars that they're getting in cutting it cold in its tracks.
Yeah, I don't understand why President Biden is so soft on all of these adversaries who may be complicit, like China, for example. That's why we focus so much on what James Comer is doing on the Oversight Committee. We don't understand why it is that he's so soft on China and other adversaries. And now they're complicit in this as well.
Well, you start looking at where his family has connections and where they're getting paid. His brother, having connections with Qatar and being on the payroll. Those relationships matter, and they've been going on for decades. But also the dollars that are coming into these universities have not had to be reported. So that's something else that we have to change. Where are these universities that are receiving tax-free exempt status, that are receiving taxpayer dollars for tuition? Where are they're getting their funding, and why are they such breeding grounds for such anti-American hate? We're seeing that. And these students that are setting up tents, that are destroying buildings, that are taking over, areas of the campus, they need to be prosecuted. If they are here from foreign countries on visas, they need to be deported.
Well, your comment on Qatar is important. We've got a new report from Politico this morning that a fund manager indicates Jim Biden, President Biden's brother, was in business with Qatari officials. And this is the #2 funder of U.S. universities, we understand, behind China. But we've got new details on Jim Biden's foreign fundraising efforts spilling out in a Kentucky bankruptcy court, where testimony indicates Jim Biden partnered with the Qatari government officials in his quest to find money for U.S. healthcare ventures. So we're following that. But, Congresswoman, I want to get your take on the investigation into the classified documents. They're investigating President Trump, obviously, over classified documents, but there's also information about the classified documents that President Biden took. So far, Robert Hur has said, well, we're not going to prosecute or do anything further with President Biden because he's, an aging individual, and a jury will be sympathetic to an old man who's losing his memory. Well, your colleague, Florida Congressman Michael Waltz, had something different to say about that, and he joined me yesterday with this. Watch this. Got to get your reaction.
Maria, I was shocked at how highly classified these documents are. The media wants you to believe, oh, this was just some old Cold War stuff that old senile Biden maybe had in his garage from decades ago. No, it was recent. It was relevant. And I mean, they had so many code words across it. I've had a clearance for 30 years. I had to ask what they meant. Eyes only for the president and vice president. Sensitive stripes down the side.
So, Congressman, what do you make of all of this? I mean, these are the classified documents that Joe Biden had to stuff in his pants or in his jacket or something when he left the secure skiff room, because you can't walk out with documents, right? And now we find out he's got all these documents near his Corvette in his garage. And Michael Waltz says they're a lot more serious than anyone understands.
No, absolutely right. And the two-tier justice system that we're seeing, the difference between how they're handling Biden and how they're handling President Trump is day and night. It's obviously political. But you think about the sensitivity of these documents. They were in a garage. who had access to them? Hunter Biden obviously had access to them. He was doing business with foreign anti-American countries as well. How far does this go down? When you think about this access that was had, and you are absolutely right, I've gotten these security briefings. You are not allowed to take anything out. How did that possibly happen? And again, what kind of rules are they living under that the rest of us aren't? This is obviously two-tiered. It's to be taken seriously. And when is that going to start happening? When is the Department of Justice, when is the FBI going to start looking into the president? We are doing that under our Republican majority House right now. We're investigating that. Those investigations have to continue.
Yeah, well, Congressman Waltz wants an immediate damage assessment from the intelligence community. They were highly classified and relevant to current national security threats, so we're waiting on that investigation to find out specifically what he had lying around.